24.1. I just did a little mini version. I went a 10.8.6 version of it. I'm traveling right now. This is Thursday night, a little bit after 11 p.m. And was caught up in doing some work and decided I actually meant to do it a little earlier and then kind of lost track of time and came down to the hotel gym. They just so happen to have some 50-pound dumbbells down here. So I decided to give it a run. I wanted to feel it out a little bit, feel out the movements a little bit. I watched and listened to a couple different people. I watched the live release of it and the open workouts. At Jeff Adler, the guy that actually completed it, said that if you try to go and broken the snatches, it's probably gonna get grippy. I'll be honest, granted I didn't go full round of 21, but like at no point did my grip ever really seem to be anything fatiguing. But for me, the way I hold a dumbbell snatch, I tend to let it kind of rest or cup into that J hook of the thumb and the forefinger with the head of the dumbbell, and then I can really drive with the legs and the hips and kind of use that as leverage so I don't have to grab as tight and let my grip go. But I never really felt any grip issues. I did take some advice from Froning. Rich Froning talked about in the burpee, stepping up with your outside leg, especially when you're gonna pair those two movements. It's gonna require that much deep hip flexion. So really make sure you're kind of paying attention to which leg you're leading with coming up and out of the burpee and how you're landing, because those reps in that 21 is gonna accumulate really, really quickly. And you're gonna feel it in that last half if you're not prepared for it. Like I always say, it's a Mike Tyson quote, everybody's got a game plan until you get punched in the face. Know that every CrossFit workout's designed to punch you in the face, but an open wad's designed to jab you, cook you, and try to deliver a knockout punch in the face. And so how are you ready? Are you prepared and ready to handle that? If you come in with the right game plan for you, you'll handle it just fine. But that's the thing is, don't get outside of yourself. Don't go try reinventing the wheel. Don't go challenge yourself, but don't go trying to, approach the impossible. It's not something that you just are gonna magically be good at. If you haven't prepared, it's gonna show. If you have prepared, it's gonna show if you do the things you normally do. So go with this. Like I said, the first round is a trap. Whether you go out too hot or go out too slow, you're gonna be in trouble. So you gotta find a pace you can really sink into. I recommend that if you're familiar with the gear system and Brian McKenzie and with the things that they're doing, Gear 2 is gonna be a hard nasal breathing pace. And so I'd recommend trying to stay somewhere around that realm through that first round, because it's going to allow you to keep moving, but it's also going to prevent your heart rate from being in your throat in that first round, to where you're going to be standing around for the second half and you can actually get into some good, hopefully faster movement in the second half of the workout. So good luck with this, guys. Hopefully it helps, and I look forward to seeing how everyone does in this. I'll probably test it. My guess is probably Sunday, but maybe Monday. I'll be traveling back Friday afternoon, so I want to give the body a day or so from a few hour car drive travel before I go hitting it hard. But I'll be curious to see how everyone does through the weekend. Good luck. am traveling right now for the Arnold. It's Thursday night, and I just went through a shortened version. So I took some tips from a couple different people that I've listened to throughout the afternoon, and after watching the live version, a couple other elite and higher level CrossFitters do it. A couple tips for you guys. So one, Adler, if you watched the live stream, talked about it being very grippy. So for me, when I do a dumbbell snatch, I tend to I'll let it kind of hang out in my fingers. Now I do have some bigger hands, but it really sits kind of in that hook of my first finger, my thumb. And so then I can really guide it like a swing with my hips. But the big thing when I come down to be able to really get into my hips and do that is I can't let that dumbbell touch the ground out in front of me, because then when I go to swing, I'm gonna have to use my back a lot more. And so for me, I try to get that dumbbell or the handle back a lot more by my heel, because that's gonna allow me, if my back stays straight, to get into my hips a little better and shoot that dumbbell out and through. And so my big aim each time was trying to get my hand in the middle to back half of my foot when that dumbbell touched the ground, so I could shoot back out with my hips each time. Other arm you can kind of just have out to the side for a counterbalance, whatever's comfortable. It is a little bit different, not switching, if you're used to doing a switch. But really, once you just kind of practice the rhythm, it's all about finding a rhythm and a flow. And it's really the same thing with the burpee. And so I was toying around with a couple different versions of like jump down, jump up, hop over. Same thing if I cross even over, I can get over even a little bit quicker. For me, you can already see it here. Granted, I did do a version of it, but my heart rate gets up a lot quicker. And so I'm glad I listened to Froning, and what he talked about in there is coming down, and every time stepping up with the outside leg, step up with the inside leg, and then from here, I have a wider stance, so I have this kind of 1-2 hop. If you are gonna have a bilateral hop and you wanna step up close, but stepping up that outside leg allows you to now step in and have a little bit tighter jump and not waste as much energy, as opposed to this hop up, hop over, where the body's just having to move up and down in a lot of space. If you got the capacity, great. But I think you're gonna find if you step up, you're gonna be able to hold a much faster pace in general. You're gonna feel faster by hopping up and hopping over. But from an outsider's perspective, like, most people aren't going as fast as they think when they do that. So that would be my big tips for you guys, is step with that outside leg, and then make sure you're really using the hips to really drive that weight up, and try and find a rhythm and groove for both. Don't fall into the trap, and good luck.